No, no. Leave it. He who takes from Gwangji the evil one is cursed.
Only by an old woman's tongue.
I tell you, if he does not go back to the Forbidden Valley, we shall all suffer a terrible fate. My eyes are blind, but I can still see the signs.
Keep your superstitions to yourself, old woman.
Fool. Ah. One day he will learn to obey the law of Gwangji. Or like his brother, he will perish.
There's a big lizard back there and he's heading this way. Now get aboard.
What's up, everybody? Phil the Kaiju King back here in my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. Had a box day Saturday, yesterday. And it's pretty awesome, as you can see here. This is a custom-made, gigantic scale Gwangji from Valley of the Gwangji, 1969 film. One of the Harryhausen films. My favorite movie, Harryhausen movie, is this movie. I really love this film. I love this monster, or dinosaur, I should say. Really always loved this since a kid, and it is really my favorite. It's a pretty awesome film. The movie starts off like in Mexico, and these gypsies are looking for one of their friends, and they find him stumbling around about halfway dead. He's got blood on his head and stuff, and he's got a little bag and something's in it. And he falls in this water, and they go to run over to him, and he barely sticks his head up, and he goes, "Gwangji," like that, and then he dies. And then the little bag's moving, and the thing's moving inside, and it kind of sounds like a horse. To me, it does anyway. It's neighing like a horse. So they're going to take it, and then the old gypsy lady warns them not to do that because the curse and the demon and the devil, and she talks all this crazy stuff, and she's referring to Gwangji. And then the movie opens up from there. The credits after that, it shows the Breckenridge Wild West show coming into Mexico, and they are struggling financially. But Carlos, the gypsy guy, had captured this little creature, and they were going to use it to try to revitalize their financial situation in their show by upping attendance. And it was Elopus. I don't know how you say it. Eohippus, I think. It's a little like prehistoric horse. And it's probably the first creation in the movie that's from Harryhausen. It's a pretty cute little looking horse with three-toed hooves and stuff. And then the gypsies, there's a paleontologist, and the guy that used to date the girl in the T.J. Breckenridge, the female in the film, he comes back and to see her and find out they're struggling, and is trying to help them out. And him and the little Mexican boy ride out into the Mexican plain and meet this paleontologist who's studying for prehistoric creatures. And then when the guy finds out about the horse, he takes the paleontologist, sneaks him in there, and he says it's a Eohippus, and it's prehistoric and all this. So he said, we need to find out where it came from and all that. So the paleontologist guy leads the gypsies to where the horse is, and they steal it and take it and try to release it. So it'll lead them back to wherever it came from, because they were calling it the Forbidden Valley. And they end up going there, and the cowboys go there, and the people from the show, the Wild West show, and they confront all kinds of a pterodactyl, tries to lift the little boy up, fly away, and then they kill it, and then they see this other little dinosaur, little plant-eating dinosaur with a long neck, and it's running away from them. And that's when you meet Gwangji here. I've heard Gwangji's supposed to be an Allosaurus, I guess. I'm not really sure. I just think he's awesome. But Gwanji kills that little creature and eats it, and then he chases the cowboys. There's a big battle there, and they're trying to capture Gwanji. And then there's also I forget the name of the dinosaur, pardon me, but it's like a triceratops, but it's got a bunch of horns, like 6 horns that go back from its head. There ain't nothing, but it does have a horn on its nose. It ends up fighting Gwanji, and Gwanji kills it, and pretty much starts eating it and all that. And then he's chasing the humans back through that cavern. They went through a cavern to get to that Forbidden Valley. Gwanji ends up knocking himself out trying to get through, and then they capture him, of course, take him and try to put him in their show. Of course, you know what happens. He breaks free, kills an elephant, kills a couple people, I believe, rampaging through Mexico there, and then he chases the humans into the church, a big giant church, and that's where Gwanji eventually meets his doom. It's set on fire, and he's trapped in fire and screaming wildly. He has a really crazy scream at the end there, and it's pretty wild. He dies in flame, and the church top collapses on him, and he dies, and that was the end of the film, pretty much. But it's my favorite Harryhausen film by far. It's pretty awesome. I love Gwanji. When you think about watching dinosaurs as a kid, this came out in '69. I was born in '71, so this is one of the first really dinosaur movies I actually remember watching. It's probably this, and I love this movie. This figure made by Mark Sang Yang. I want to thank him for this. It was commissioned long ago, like August, September last year, probably, and it was a little delayed getting to me. I was supposed to have had it by the new year, and I didn't have it, so he finally came around with it though this past week, and he's had a lot of issues with doing sculpts and pretty much cut way back, almost all the way. But I told him I would still like to do some. I just want to do one at a time. Pay him some up front. When he gets it done, pay the rest. Get one done. Have a completion date so we know when it's going to be done by. Have it really structured that way. Before, when I commissioned a lot of things from him, he had to eventually pay me back. He just was COVID really messed things up, I guess. So we're going to do it in a structured way. Do one, pay for part of it. When it's done, pay the rest. Get that one in my hands. Then we talk about the next one. So it's going to be way more structured and way more controlled. Hopefully it'll work out. But he's the one that did this. It's pretty awesome. Pretty neat. Tail goes down, curves off to the Gwanji's right hand side. Nice sculpting of the bumpy scales that go up and down his tail on his back there. That's pretty cool, I think. Nice sculpting of his skin on his legs, on his back, on the sides of his back here, on the front of his legs. That's horizontal scaling on his legs and on his midsection as well. You can see that horizontal scaling there. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it was in the movie. Toenails, almost a blackish dark gray. He's got this claw on the back of his leg here. I don't know what they call those. I can't remember. But he's got those in the movie as well. His hand claws are 3 on each hand. Also a dark gray nail on those. I sculpted him, like I said, of his skin on his arms there as well. Looks pretty neat. Up here on his head, nice capture of his head. He's got this slight snarl in his jaw. He always had that snarl when in his mouth. He's got the slight little snarl up here on his top part of his jaw, which is what I did ask for. Teeth individually sculpted in the mouth, bone white pretty much. Looks pretty good there, I think. Mouth reddish pink in color, of course. The eye, I think, is almost a light grayish in color, and then the pupil is black. Looks pretty good. Nice flat top head. Nice definition of sculpting of the head and everything. The face, I think it looks pretty good myself. Not too bad. I think he did a good job capturing this thing and what it looks like. As you can see, pretty good definition of sculpting of the body and the scales and stuff. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with it. All right, I'll do 2 comparisons and let's move on to that now. All right, everybody, I'm back, and there's my gigantic scale Gwanji from 1969, Valley of the Gwangji, alongside my custom gigantic Godzilla 1968. This was made by Mark Sang-Yang as well. I thought, this is 1969. What do I have that's 68 that's gigantic? I have a gigantic custom 68, so that's why I decided to bring that up. This Gwanji's about 17, roughly inches tall, right around there. So he's about an inch or so shorter than 68 there. Not too bad. All right, now I'll do an X plus comparison, and let's move on to that now. All right, everybody, I'm back, and here's my gigantic Gwangji custom alongside the X Plus Gigantic Series Godzilla 1954 FSL Standard Edition there. I did not get the one that had all the tanks with it, so that's just the standard. I thought I'd do an X Plus just for some comparison, because a lot of people may have this figure. They don't look too bad side by side. Looks pretty cool. Gwanji's got a slight blue hue to him. In the movie that he had that as well, so I thought Mark captured that fairly decently. All right, everybody, I'll move on to some final thoughts. Let's do that now. All right, everybody. Custom gigantic Gwangji from the 1969 film Valley of the Gwangji. It's a great sculpt. I love how it turned out. I'm very happy with it. Pretty awesome thing here. Very happy with how it turned out. Captured Gwangji pretty well, I think. I'd like maybe down the road have the Triceratops looking creature that he killed, but I'd want it dead on the ground with all the blood. Leslie Chambers is going to think I'm crazy, but I like it because he had it down and it was pretty much dead, and it had blood around its eye and blood all over its back and stuff. I'd like to maybe have that done down the road sometime to go with this, because that was the epic fight he had in the film. It's pretty cool though. All right, everybody, I'll close out my video. I want to thank everybody that tunes into my channel. This is Phil from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. Y'all have a blessed day, and we will talk again soon.